Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs have once again signed a top 3 recruiting class. What's going on, guys? Matt DeBary, DawgPost.com, making you a smarter Georgia fan. We are one day after the signing period, the early signing day period for the 2021 class, and the Georgia Bulldogs are bringing in another elite class, and that's what this video is all about. I'm going to be breaking it down for you, what Georgia got, what they didn't get. I mean, it was far from a perfect class. I'm going to talk about that later. Georgia did miss on a couple guys early in this class that they would have loved to sign in December, and on signing day, they did lose a 4-star commitment in defensive back Dejon Warren, who flipped to Jackson State. I don't want to speculate on a great issue there, but either way, he is a really good player and a guy that I thought would be playing early at Georgia. So it wasn't a perfect day, and it's not a perfect class, but they got their quarterback of the future, and that's the biggest deal right now. This class starts and ends with 5-star quarterback Brock Vandagriff. If you've been watching our videos, reading our stories, you know all about him right now. You've seen plenty of highlights. He's a guy with a great arm. He can push the ball downfield, but more importantly, obviously, it is important to have an elite arm like he does, but he can run the football, and he brings Georgia another element to the quarterback position. He can take off and beat you with his legs just as much as he can beat you with his arm. So he's a 5-star dual threat quarterback. Depending on what site you're looking at, he's either the second or third best quarterback in the country. Some might think he's better than Caleb Williams going to Oklahoma. Either way, big-time player from the Athens area. Georgia had to get this guy, and they did. He's been recruiting for Georgia the entire time, all year, and it's paid off as Georgia lands another top 3 class. So they got their quarterback in this class. That's what they needed. They got it. They also got their left tackle, Amarius Mims, big 6'7", 320-pounder from Bleckley County. He was a can't miss. This is a guy who could be an NFL left tackle one day, making millions and millions of dollars. He is going to be in Athens. I'm not sure how early he'll play because Georgia is pretty stacked at the tackle position, but this is the ideal left tackle you want. If this guy sits a year and develops, he can be starting for you as a sophomore and be dominant. So, again, I'll talk about the defense in a little bit, but quarterback and left tackle is what this class is all about. You got 2 guys who could be 3-and-out, first-round types, and if you have your quarterback, you have to have a left tackle to go with it, and Georgia has that there. So that's where Georgia's biggest strength is, quarterback and left tackle. They got a running back, Lavassier Carroll, great straight line runner, a little taller back, almost 6'1", about 190 pounds. So he's got strong kid. He's got some muscle on him. He's not going to shake and bake, make any guys miss. He's not the most agile guy or the best change of direction. But when he gets going, straight line speed, he's very, very fast. So he's going to bring Georgia some straight line speed and add some quality depth there. On the offensive line, already talked about Amarius Mims. Micah Morris, 4-star offensive lineman from Camden County. Might need a year to develop there, but he's got a lot of potential. Dylan Fairchild, a 4-star guard from West Forsyth High School. I think he's probably the offensive lineman who could see the field first just because he plays guard. He's exactly what Matt Luke wants an offensive line at the guard position. Almost a perfect class on the offensive line. They were going after Terrence Ferguson from Peach County very, very hard. He was a big target for them. He ended up choosing Alabama over Georgia over the summer, but they replaced him with Jared Wilson, a massive 6'5", 320-pound guard out of another West Forsyth High School, this time in North Carolina. Big kid, really athletic for a guy his size. So he's got a lot of potential, and he could probably see a starting position down the road in Athens. So definitely got to keep an eye on there. Brock Bowers, 4-star tight end out of Napa, California. Super athletic. He's going to really help Georgia out in the passing game there. One of the most athletic tight end prospects in the country. Todd Harley went out and got him from California. They didn't load up a receiver. They didn't land some 5-star game changer like George Pickens or Jermaine Burton, anything like that. They only signed 2. Might be the weakest group in position-wise in the class. 3-star Jackson Meeks, 3-star Adonai Mitchell. They're both kids with good size who are decent route runners and have decent hands. They're not killers that I know of. Again, this was going to be a small class anyway. They took 5 in 2020. So if you look and say, oh, they only took 2 3-star receivers, that's not very good. Well, it's not the best they've ever pulled in, but they did so much work in that 2020 class that this year was always going to be small, and they didn't land some elite 5-star, 4-star guy, but these are 2 kids who could be really good if they continue to sit and develop and not get thrown into the fire. So Georgia has two guys that are going to provide depth there. So overall, offensively, they didn't get a ton of firepower, a ton of weapons for Brock Vandagriff, but they did set him up with a very good offensive line, a great weapon at tight end, and a change of pace running back who does have some legit straight line speed, who can take it the distance. So offensively, they checked a lot of boxes. Didn't check them all, but very, very solid there. Defensively, let's start up front. They only signed 3 defensive linemen yesterday. They didn't sign a Jordan Davis type. Kirby said that in his press conference. They needed a guy who can clog the middle. They didn't get that. Tyrion Ingram's-Dawkins, one of the best players in this class, 4-star defensive tackle. He's about 6'5", 300, more suited to play that 3 technique, that defensive tackle spot. Jonathan Jefferson, more of a defensive end defensive tackle. I think he's around 6'5", around 275, 280. You can't plug him in the middle. Marlon Dean, again, also on the leaner side, around 275, 280 as well. You can't put him in the middle. So they didn't sign a guy who can line up over the center, take on a double team, and just hold the point of attack and just eat up blockers for the athletic linebackers that they also have coming in. So maybe they're going to get a guy like that in the transfer portal. They did not sign one there, so would have liked to have seen them sign a big, just monster defensive tackle, nose guard type of guy who can line up right in the middle. They didn't get that, so look for them to find someone there in the transfer portal. At linebacker, they hit out of the park. Glenn Schumann might be getting another raise for what he did, signing Xavier Sori and Smile Munden, 2 incredibly athletic, long, physical guys. Both are going to have to learn to play the linebacker position. They're both very, very good athletes for 6'3", 215, 220 pounds. So the potential for those two is through the roof. They both have very high ceilings. I'm not sure if they can step in and play day one, because I still think they need to learn the instincts and the just learn to play the linebacker position. But right now they are very athletic guys who can run and hit, and they're only going to get better. 2 of the top linebacker prospects in the entire country both signed with Georgia. He also got Jamon Dumas-Johnson, a guy that probably one of the more underrated players in this class. The Georgia staff loves him, so do a lot of other college coaches that I speak with. He's a tackling machine. Didn't get to play up in Maryland at all for his senior season due to COVID, but this guy knows how to hit. He's physical, and he's almost an ideal type middle linebacker. He's got some speed. He does have some sideline-to-sideline type of speed there, but he's not going to miss any tackles, and that's exactly what Georgia needs. They also didn't land or sign an elite pass rusher, those long, athletic Adam Anderson, Leonard Floyd types, the Nolan Smiths, like a specialty elite pass rusher. Chaz Chambliss can do that, but he's 6'2", about 240, so he doesn't look like it. He doesn't, he doesn't have the ideal look of those outside linebacking, just pass rushers off the edge. But he knows how to get after the passer. 51 career sacks at Carrollton. He knows what he's doing. He's strong. He can get after the passer. He might not look like it from a physical standpoint, but the numbers back it up. He knows how to get after the passer. Could play some inside linebacker. Could play some defensive end. So he's still kind of a tweener right now, but he knows how to get after the quarterback, and he's been very, very productive throughout his high school career. Looking into the secondary, again, missing Dejon Warren, I feel like, is a big deal. And I don't know why he necessarily flipped to Jackson State. Maybe it was just because he wanted to play for Deion Sanders. I guess I get that. But this is a guy who I thought could come in and really push for playing time, with Tyson Campbell and Eric Stokes maybe opting out and not being here next year. I thought Warren, a JUCO kid with experience, could be maybe a plug-and-play type of guy. So ideally, I think they would have liked to keep him in this class if they could, and if he could academically as well. I thought that would have been a great pickup. But they did sign safety David Daniel, hard-hitting, run-stopping safety who can come up and help in the box. Kamari Lassiter at cornerback, Javon Bullard at cornerback, 2 3-star guys with potential. Again, probably going to have to sit and develop a little bit. But Nyland Green, the 4-star cornerback from Newton High School, who picked Georgia over Tennessee, Clemson, and Auburn last month. One of my favorite players in this class. I think he could be a lockdown cornerback at the next level. 6'2", 180 pounds, super athletic, great ball skills, great cover skills. If there's one defensive back who could see the field sooner than later, or the first from that group to see the field, I do think it's Nyland Green. I think he is a guy who can come in and play and earn a lot of playing time, actually, as a freshman. I think he's that talented. But overall, Georgia did sign a really good class, a little smaller. I think they ended up with 20 signees yesterday and room for maybe 1 or 2 more, but I think they're going to use those spots. Instead of signing 24, 25 guys, they're going to sign 20 or 21 and use those other spots for transfer portals. Maybe get another defensive lineman, a plug-and-play guy in the middle. Maybe get another zone coverage safety like a J.R. Reed or Richard LeCounte. They didn't kind of sign a safety like that. They signed a hard-hitting, run-stopping safety in David Daniel, but he's not this elite zone coverage guy. So maybe another veteran safety, maybe another guy in the middle through the transfer portal, and then maybe another running back or receiver. So there's still slots open on the team there since they only signed 21 or 22, but 20 or 21. But offensively, you got your quarterback, you got your left tackle, and you provided depth all across the board. Defensively, 2 of the top linebackers in the country you were able to sign, and again, added more depth everywhere else. So it's not a perfect class, not an ideal class. They still missed on a lot of guys early in the process, but Kirby put together another top 5, top 3 class. I believe they did end up in the top 3, and that's all you can really ask for. I mean, most teams would kill for the class that Kirby and Georgia just signed. So overall, not the most dramatic signing day, but Georgia did get a 5-star yesterday to wrap up what was a solid Wednesday, an early signing day period. And that's it, guys. I really appreciate y'all watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next video coming up right now, and stay tuned to Dawg Post for all the latest UGA team and recruiting news. And I will see you over on the website.